a nice curtain behind me. I moved the chair and sat down over here, and I got a blue background.
Yes. Well, we
So that's
are
all.
live now, Dr. Tamia. I'm so excited to have you as our
I
guest.
am excited too. I am. So good to see you.
I know it's been so. How many years have we known each other now?
Oh, now you're gonna now you're gonna date me. You're gonna let everybody know how old I really am. Oh my gosh, we go way back.
Yeah.
We
I
go
think.
way back. I remember when I came to Seattle, and I got sick. We did the training and
Mhm.
whatnot, and you all had to have doctors come to my room, had to take me to the ER. I mean, I remember all of that, but that was, oh gosh, I
It
want to
had to
say
have been.
maybe about 12, 15 years ago,
Yeah, it
maybe.
had to have been at least 10 because my I had
Yeah.
Layla at that time. She's 11, or she's 11 now. So wow, wow,
Wow. Oh
yeah.
my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Wow. So,
And you've
well,
transformed.
Ray, good to see you.
Yeah, you've
Mhm.
transformed. So for those of you that are just watching this for the first time or live with us, Dr. Tamia and I have known each other many, many years, obviously 11 or more years. And
Yeah.
she went through quite the health journey. She lost 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And she was a part of, or maybe still is part of, the Enagic community, with hydrogen in that water. It's so powerful. It's getting
No,
many
no,
benefits.
no more.
Oh, no more. Okay, you're
Nope. I gave that business to my daughters.
okay.
Uh,
So you're
yeah.
focusing now on gut health because it's the way it's
Yeah.
transformed. So you've now got your units on the way to your home to get the hydrogen water, baby.
Yes, and I'm excited about that. And really excited about that, and excited also for a dear friend of mine. Amanda, when I started, and I won't say the name of the company for the sake of those that are listening, but for those who know me, they know what I'm talking about. We were taught in the beginning that no disease can live in an alkaline ionized environment,
Yeah.
and I know you were taught the same.
Yep.
And these teachers didn't come from the people in that company. I want to say the employees in that company, but what our employees and even the employer, it came from doctors that were allowed
Yes.
to spread that message throughout the entire company.
Yep.
And so, because they were doctors and we trusted them, what do? We went out and we shared the same message
Yep.
because we thought that what they were saying was true. We had no reason to doubt them.
Right.
And then, not only was I diagnosed with breast cancer, but a lot of my friends were diagnosed with different types of cancers. And I want you to hear me clear, Amanda. I'm not here to try to scare anybody. I'm not here to try to make anybody throw away their device. I mean, but I am here because I really want to not only set the record straight, but I want to share my story and some other things as well. But here's the thing: when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I didn't understand it because I said to myself, "How could this be? If I'm doing what I was told to do, mm, 21 years ago, then why is it now that I'm
Mhm.
hearing the words, you have cancer?"
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I later on discovered that it was not necessarily the device. And then of course I talked to you and I'm sure you will elaborate on that. And so it wasn't the device, but it was the water that was going through the device that people was drinking.
Mhm.
And I myself personally was told you get your machine deep cleaned once a year.
Yep.
I was also told that you shouldn't do it, that it needed to be done by the home office.
Mhm.
And so when we came along, we didn't even know how to clean the machine. So I
Yep.
had my machine for maybe about 8, 9 years before I had cleaned it. Kid you
Okay.
not. Didn't know anything about cleaning the machine. I was just told, press the button, drink that particular water, drink 9.5, leave the rest of the buttons alone. Don't worry about it. That's what we were told. And so when I later on discovered that whatever water went through that machine, and after it was ionized, if that water had chemicals in it, if it had mold in it, if it had chlorine in it, because I later learned that the filter that came inside of the device, it only lasted, the chlorine was only removed for a certain amount of gallons. And I didn't believe it. So I tried it myself. And about halfway through the year, I decided, let me test this water again for chlorine. And lo and behold, it was loaded with chlorine.
Yeah.
water that I had been cooking with, water that I had been drinking, okay, water that I had been washing my meats in, my produce in. I mean, I'm telling you. And so there I was now. I'm like, what in the world? What is going on?
Yep.
And so, with that being said, of course, I found out. But like I said, with the water, the condition of the water going into the machine and chemicals being in the water, those chemicals being ionized, etc. And I went to social media with that
Yep.
conversation. And I had distributors. I couldn't believe it. Distributors having the audacity to dial my number. And anybody knows Dr. Tamia, you can't call me and tell me what to do, especially when I know what's right. And I did my best. I did my best to educate as many people as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And some of them listened. And unfortunately, a lot of them didn't. A lot of people because they did not listen. What if? What if? And so here's the thing. I decided, I had to get a pre-filter. And I think I called you that. I called you because I know you were selling pre-filters at the time. And you made some recommendations. You even sold me a couple of those hydrogen bottles. And everywhere I go, we have our hydrogen bottles with us. And that's what we consume. Because every time I go someplace, I tell folks, hey, I'm going to be in this location, that location. All of my colleagues, my colleagues from the past will call and say, hey, lady, I live in your area. Let me bring you some water. And after I found out what was going on with my health, okay, and what was happening with the water that a lot of folks were consuming, I said, nah, no, thank you. That's why I stopped posting where I was going to be. Because I didn't want folks calling me because I didn't want to have to throw their water in the garbage. I'm telling you right now. And so I decided that because I couldn't talk about it, because I got a couple of calls, even went in and had a conversation with a corporate as well. And I decided the best thing for me to do is to allow my daughters to do the business if they wanted to. And that's where we are. And I decided after I got myself together that I was going to tell the world. Because initially when I started with Love Biome, I was not interested in doing it from a business standpoint. And I told you that I wasn't, because to me the money was really small. I wasn't accustomed to real residual income. I was accustomed to, I sell you this machine, I'm gonna make $3,000. Okay? I sell you 3 machines, I'm gonna make this amount of money. I do this, and so that's what it was. That's why I became, and for those who may not know it, but most people do, I became the first female millionaire in that company. And in addition to that, we did it in just 16 short months. 16, I think 13 or 16 short months. Because I was in a place in my life where I was struggling financially. I was really struggling. And when I saw the possibility that had at that particular time in my mind, I told everybody about it. Everybody about it. And it went across the entire United States, especially in New York, like a wildfire.
Yeah.
And I said to say that Love Biome, when I saw the conversation plan, I said, it's going to take me forever to get to where I got to in a short period of time. But after I got the benefits, see, y'all got to understand, those that are listening, and Amanda, I know you know, I had put on 158 pounds. When I came from down south to New York, I was only 110 pounds. I was so healthy because I ate food that my grandmother cooked, of course. I ate the food that we grew. That's all we ate, the food that we grew. And even the animals that we raised, that's who we ate. I'm not proud about it now, but that's who we ate. All those chickens that used to be my friend and things of that nature, right? So we ate what we raised. That's what we did. I was a cheerleader in junior high, high school, all the way through my college years. I was so athletic. I could literally jump I could jump over a 5-foot pole, over a 5-foot fence without my legs touching it. Splits in the air, back flips. That was it. And when I came to the city, things changed. Things changed, especially after my college years. I became sedentary. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to get into any problems or run into any issues because I was so afraid of being in New York, growing up in South Carolina and all the negative things that I heard. And I gained 158 pounds. Plus, I had knee pain, back pain. My waist used to be only 26 inches around. It went up to 44 inches. I used to wear a 0. It went from a 0 to size 22. I could not sleep at night. I had to be put on Ambien, a sleeping medication to put me to sleep at night. And when I didn't take it, I didn't sleep. I was also on antidepressants. You didn't know this, but
Mm-mm.
you knew it after I told you later on. But even when I was in Washington State with you doing that training that time, I was dependent on antidepressants. Having a mother that died at 7, a father that was put in prison for double murder at the age of 9 years old, and then my best friend, my childhood friend, Lizzie, that I used to play with every day. We used to make mud pies and everything. And I remember going down the street to have another play date with Lizzie, only to find out her mother said she won't be playing anymore.
Mm.
She had accidentally hung herself by a tire because we didn't have lots of money, So what we would do is, people that had these old tires, we would take those old tires and take a rope and tie them to a strong branch of a tree, and that's what we used to swing.
Mm.
And so she, playing without me, was standing up and swinging on it, and some way her neck got caught in the rope and she
Oh
died.
my.
So that really, really affected me. I didn't know how bad. And in the relationship that I had with my mom was she was verbally abusive. She was physically abusive. And that's why I tell people all the time. I see people talk about racism, but there's racism in every race, within the race. My mother was a very dark woman. I
Mm.
mean, now maybe not as dark as my shirt, but close to it. I'm telling you. And my father, Indian, black, and white. Now imagine. And so here I was, this little baby that she gave birth to, that looked like she was almost white, right? Green eyes, curly hair at the time, and looking like my dad. And she and my father weren't getting along too well, so that didn't end too well for me. My
Mm.
mother, when she and my father didn't make it, the marriage didn't. They stayed married until my mother died, but you knew that she was angry all the time. And so I would get beat all the time, and I hated her for that. Yeah, I tell people all the time. I remember standing at her casket as a 7-year-old little girl saying, when I understood death, and at that time I should not have understood death, but I did. I
Mm.
had my understanding was, once that happened, you go to sleep until you're told to wake up, and we don't know how long that was going to be. And so I knew that she was not going to be getting up out of that little tiny bed that she was in my mind. And I celebrated that. And I realized that all of these things had everything to do with the antidepressants that I was on, off and on for 30 years. The panic attacks that I was having. I mean, sometimes 2 and 3 in a night where I could not breathe. I felt like I was going to die. I was afraid to go to sleep.
Wow.
But these are things that I kept to myself. These are the conversations that Tony and I would have. My daughters didn't even know a lot of what I was dealing with, and so, because I didn't want to alarm anybody. But when I found out that I had breast cancer, I said, that's it. And I decided, nah, it's time for me to take care of me. And
Mhm.
so when I found out with Love Biome that a lot of the issues that I was dealing with, and this is not to say that the products cured me, because Amanda, the products don't cure us. The products give our bodies what our bodies need and what our bodies understand. And then
Yep.
our bodies are able to fix itself. The same way the water, whether you're drinking from that company or whether you're buying a hydrogen machine. The bottom line is, it's not the water that is curing you. You're giving your body what it already understands,
Mhm.
except for giving your body clean water loaded with hydrogen naturally. And
Mm.
so here's the thing. For me personally, when I saw what was happening with me, I decided I got to tell people, just like I did with the water back 21 years ago. When I found out what was happening with me by using products that were all plant-based, I said, I cannot keep this to myself. I got to tell somebody. And I started talking about it. And I talked about it, and I talked about it, and I talked about it. And I'm glad that I stuck with it, because I said that the compensation plan was not attractive to me at the time. And then, because I stuck with it, for the first time in my life, um, and I've been in this industry for 32 years full time. It'll be 33 years come January 1st. For the first time in my life, I experienced true residual income.
Yeah.
True residual income, where people are consuming a product and they're consuming that product every single month. And I know, because this is public, that I cannot share what my income is. But what I will tell you is this: the money that I make today, listen to me carefully, and I haven't, and I literally just went full time, I would say maybe 6 months ago. because I was doing it very, very part-time. I'm making more money helping people get themselves, allowing themselves to get healthier. More money than some people make in a year, in
Yeah.
a whole year,
Yeah.
every single month. And Amanda, I know you know what I'm talking about. So I
Yeah.
won't shoot out numbers, okay? But it's the truth.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
because people, they love what they're seeing. They're getting results. And so, how did you lose weight? How long did it take you? It took me about almost 3 years. It took me almost 3 years. And so it wasn't something that happened overnight. It was my gut. When my gut was in such a state of dysbiosis, meaning it was out of balance, of course I'm going to gain weight. I had a balloon put in my stomach, it cost me $10,000. And
Yeah.
yeah, I lost weight. But guess what? As soon as the balloon was taken out, the weight came back.
Yep.
Every bit, and even more, it came back. It
Wow.
came back. And I
Wow.
said, man, and knowing that, and then having breast cancer, I mean, when you know your body can fix itself, why would you go back to doing something that could have perhaps contributed to the reason why you were going through what you were going through? And so, nah. Mm-mm. And
Well,
Amanda, when you talked to me and told me about all the machines that you dissected,
40 of them. Yep.
40 machines that you dissected,
Yep. Yep.
loaded with the mold,
Yep. Yep.
okay, that's scary.
Yep.
It's really, really scary. And people they need to take this conversation serious because
Yep.
it's not a joke.
No, and it's
How
not.
many people that you and I know that's dead now?
Yep. Well, the first machine is what really got me because I stepped out of Enagic. There were some things going on, and I stepped out because I started hearing about all the studies. There was 10 years of research studies proving there's no reason to drink alkaline ionized water except for the molecular hydrogen that's in it. And I have those studies are on our website.
Mhm.
And there's all these downfalls. There's risk factors. And the
Right.
risk factors I was looking at seeing mold buildup. Oh no, that's not good. How it can take contamination and potentially make it more harmful because of the ionization. So I was like, okay, I have to do something different. So that hydrogen technology is there. And no one knew about hydrogen technology, but it's totally different inside because we have just an anode and a cathode separated by a membrane that repels minerals from sticking. Then it goes through a cleaning process that disinfects it with hypochlorous acid every 3 days. So it
Wow.
kills. Yeah. And so I was like, wow, this is great. So I did a trade up program like we do now with any of our customers from the past. We offered them a great, discount by having a home unit on their countertop. And the first machine that I decided to take apart, I had two of my customers come to me and they both got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And they were like, we've been drinking this water faithfully, Amanda. And and they were like wanting to throw it at me because I sold it to them. And I said, well, did you ever clean it? And like deep cleaning it once a year? I've never seen you like ask how to do that. And like every month you're supposed to be cleaning at least twice. They're like, no, the machine says cleans it. We just push the button.
Wow.
And I was
Hmm.
like, oh my gosh. Well, that machine I decided to take apart. And I'll put the link down here below so people can watch that video. But it was caked with white calcium, and on the white calcium was mold, black mold, and it smelled like dead fish. And
Yes,
that's
and people are saying that the water tastes like that. See, that's
they
not.
did. No, and then we would say, oh, it's because the detox. It's if you think it tastes like it's your body. And it wasn't their body. Their body's getting sick, right? And it's causing so much problems in their body. So after that, I started ripping these machines apart, and I took down 40 of them. And some were new. Some people give me K8s, and the K8s didn't have much mold in them compared to the older ones. After 3 years is when we really found there was a problem. And what we also tested for was the molecular hydrogen because there's drops you can get. And what
Right,
we
right,
found was the customers that were using a lot of 2.5 and 11.5, because salt's corrosive, it corrodes the electrodes and breaks down the nanoplatinum particles. And so there was no hydrogen in those machines at all. The people used the 2.5 and 11.5. And so knowing these studies, the only reason to drink alkaline ionized water is this hydrogen. They're not even getting hydrogen. It's like, well, what are we doing? Giving people mold toxicity and bacteria in their body, pseudomonas? Like, no, we can't do that. And so I got, quite a few people hating on me for switching and stuff. But you know what? It's because I'm very,
you know what? Let me just say this. That's their business.
yeah,
That's their business. Listen, the life that they say could be their very own.
yeah,
And instead of hating on somebody, why don't you try to learn and listen?
yep,
Have an open mind and learn and listen.
yeah,
I didn't understand that. I had to put a few people in check about that. And if
Yep.
anybody comes to me and say anything about Amanda, first of all, you are a mother, you have your daughters, you have a right,
Yep.
okay? You have a right to say whatever you want to say. Last time I checked, this is a country that has freedom of speech. And in
Mm-hmm.
addition to that, if you don't like it, move on. Move
Yep.
on. Keep drinking it.
Yep.
Keep drinking it. Keep on. Don't get a deep clean. Do whatever you want to do. I have people that didn't get their machines clean in 18 years,
Wow.
10 years.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden they get sick and they're calling me.
Yep. Yep.
You
Well,
see?
once we started putting it out there, we had customers calling us. We have it on our website too. I'll put that link down there. But customers were like, we watched your video and, my wife told me that maybe I should check the machine out. And I took it apart and there's so much mold and bacteria caked inside. I don't even know what to do with it now. And of course, it says in the back, if you take your machine apart, the warranty's gone. So no one wants to take it apart. So no one's seeing inside the machines, And so it was really at my heart to come out and share that with people. And they can do what they want, but it's your health. And we thought we had the best out there, but we were not informed about the proper maintenance and care. And what if you don't do that? So now it's out there. So people can get the information and take it how they choose. But we do know
I feel that we have a responsibility for those out there that did. You have a responsibility to those people. And how dare you? How dare you not share this information?
Yep.
I mean, what kind of person are you?
Yep. Yep.
What kind of person are you to hear what you've done, Amanda, to hear it and to not do something about it?
Yeah.
Because you want money? Is it all about
Nope.
the money?
No. Nope.
And think about it. People are drinking 11.5.
Yep.
They're being told, drink this. When you've been diagnosed with something, they drink this.
Mm-hmm.
Drink this. And so if they're consuming a water at that level, at that high of a pH, imagine.
Yeah. Yep. Imagine, because all what happens is when you go higher in the pH, you get more calcium, more magnesium, more minerals. And those bacteria, they love warm, moist environment with lots of nutrients. And those are nutrients for those bacteria to grow. And then couple that and you're giving it out to other people, to help them with their health, and they're getting sick saying the water tastes, and you're just like, oh, it's because your body's out of balance and you have the Herxheimer's reaction. No, it's because the machine's not clean and you're getting toxicity. You're getting an infection. So yeah, that message is now out there so people can take it how they want. But we do offer a trade up program because it's like, I didn't want them to have nothing to drink, because we know our tap water is worse than that, with the 60,000 chemicals in it. The bottled water is, plastic loaded and bad for the environment, expensive. So now they have an option, whole house water system to clean up the whole home. And then we have the home unit, which is great. We also have just under the counter filters, and then you can purchase a device like this and just make hydrogen that way. It's very inexpensive. But these also need cleaning, because the same thing can happen. If you're not putting true pure water in it, like distilled, there's still calcium, and calcium is a mineral and also nutrients. You got to clean it with vinegar or citric acid every couple of days. But I mean, it's hardly any maintenance as long as you keep up with it.
Tell me about this whole house unit. How does that work?
What it does
is people ask about that all the time. They want a whole house unit.
That's the best way to go, because when you shower, think about your skin as your largest organ, and you're showering in water that's very toxic, and now it's going into your body, and your body, liver, kidneys have to deal with it. All disease is linked to really one thing, which is too much oxidative stress. And so the more stress we have environment, too much environment stress. That's our water, our cell phones, our microwaves, our TVs. Then we have our own thoughts. Like you said, I couldn't sleep. I was on Ambien. That's stress to your thought creates a feeling. Now your brain waves out of balance. Now you're producing cortisol and adrenaline. Those are inflammational hormones and cause weight gain. Now you can't lose weight. You can't sleep because of stress. And we did it to ourselves. Or you can get injured. I had an injury when I was 21, and I just now healed from it. I took 6 months off. I got to the point where it was like I couldn't function throughout my day without thinking about this pain in my back, because the ankle was shattered and crushed. And so I had surgeries, and now it's fine because I learned from people like Dr. Joe Dispenza and Bob Proctor how to heal your body. Give it what it needs and get your body out of stress. So if you have stress coming in through your food and air and water and things like that, we got to eliminate it. If you got stress from your inner thoughts, we got to get better thoughts. If you have injuries, okay, we need to deal with them and help your body out of stress. Then having something in your stomach, your gut has a bacteria. It's got a microbiome, which is why I'm so excited about going to Dallas next week and learning more about your products.
I'm
And I'm looking
excited.
at consistent with it. But you are feeding these microbiome, this gut lining, and your brain and your gut communicate. So when you don't have a healthy gut, you're going to have unhealthy thoughts. Now you have unhealthy feelings. Now you have fear and doubt. When you have fear and doubt, you have anxiety. Then you have depression, and then you have dis-ease. So we have to correct the gut so we can have a happy thought, which creates a happy feeling. So you have joy and bliss, and those chemicals in our body heal you. You have happiness, you have love, you feel your vibration and your whole body goes up. And the vibration of that is healing. So we just got to get people to be happy. And how are we going to do that? You're going to improve the water quality in their body, which is 75%, improve the nutrients that those bacteria are consuming, and stay out of stress and don't hurt yourself. And if we can do that, our body will heal. And it's that simple. And I'm a firm believer of that. And anyone that's watching this, if you're in Dallas next week, I'm going to be there. Tamia's going to be there. And Betty's going to be there too, from Enagic. That she's now in Healthy Hydration, and she'll be in Love Biome and going on to do this with us too. So I'm very excited about that. So
I'm excited about it too. I'm
Yeah.
excited about it too. I'm excited because I get a chance to see you in person and give you a big hug. I remember those days.
Yep.
Y'all saved my life. Y'all really saved my life because I was just going to get back on the plane and just not do anything. Just go home, wait till I go home, go to the doctor. But you were adamant. Nope, you got to go to the hospital. You got to go. And I didn't even know my temperature was that high. And I went only to find out that I really needed to go. Yeah, I was diagnosed with
that's so commendable and respectable because, you knew going into it, you weren't feeling good, but you had already committed to coming. And I had, I don't know how many 100 or so people there.
Yeah.
And you canceled it and we would have been fine with it. But instead you got on the plane in a wheelchair and you come to the event. I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I didn't know this was going on. You're like, yeah, my doctor says it's okay. I'm like, okay, you're awesome. Like just the commitment level to that you had, that you were so dedicated. You weren't even in my team. You did it just because you cared. And that is the most respectable thing. And that's why I love you dear and near to my heart. So when I knew you were doing this and you sent me products and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, these are great. And they don't taste like, the best drink out there, because why? Because everything else is loaded with chemicals. It's crap.
Yeah.
This is true pure nutrients for your body. And so your body resonates with it and it makes you feel great. And once you get that gut balance, okay, now the bacteria can break down the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins, and then you use them as energy instead of store them because your body couldn't use them. And, nowadays people think, oh, I'm just going to go get the shot to get some weight off or a pill to get some weight off. You got to get to the root. That's just a Band-Aid. It's just a Band-Aid. And like, I cannot, I don't want to say this because like, I'm going to say it anyways. I can eat whatever I want. Like I literally can eat donuts after donuts and people make fun of me. They're like, don't teach people that's bad. It's like, okay, well, before I was clinically obese for 8 years. Okay. How calorie counting, I used to count my calories, 1,200. If I went over that, I'm going to be, and now I'm like, I want another serving of ice cream. I want another cookie, but I'm getting better. But I'm at like 125, 127 pounds and I don't really work out. I just breathe and stretch and I meditate and take good nutrients and drink good water. And I'm just passionate about sharing that with others because you don't have to struggle. You don't. And it's one of the best
things. And you're going to kill it because this product that Life Advantage that they have, the GLP, the MB Core and the MB Enhance, for helping the body make, because that's their thing, activation, and you take it to make it. And so these backed by science. That's why I say you're going to love it. You're just going to love it. I just can't wait for you to be in Dallas because what it is they formulated something that is amazing. You take it and your body will make literally up to 200%. Your GLP levels will increase by up to 200%, or maybe more for some folks. The average is 200%. GLP-1s. And so people are releasing, one guy released over 40 pounds in just 3 months.
Wow.
Because his body was able to make what it already has, not give it something that's synthetic, something that's going to mimic what your body can already do. Isn't that something? And so with all of the podcasts and the videos out there and people that don't want to listen, they can take 2 pills, wait 30 minutes and take a phenomenal shake and help their bodies make that GLP-1.
That's awesome. With no side effects except for goodness. You know, when people are taking those other things out there that the doctors are prescribing them, it's a Band-Aid, and there's a side effect to these Band-Aids. It's going to be more harmful in the future. So you're looking for a short-term result, but it's a long-term health consequence.
I met a lot of people with paralysis of the gut. They can't move their bowels. And they're being told that it's going to never come back. It's going to never be the same because of that. And some of them were diabetic, really, really diabetic, not lying and saying they are to get a prescribed medication. And then some of them were taking it just to be taking it. But it doesn't matter why you're taking it. All prescribed drugs have side effects. Up to 6 to 9. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. If you give the body something that it doesn't understand, what do you think is going to happen?
Yep.
If you give the body something, it's like this. Tony's a plumber, you know that, right? And so if Tony comes to somebody's house to fix their toilet, let's say there's something clogged in the toilet, he's not going to be able to do it with a plunger. He's going to need another tool to get it done. And if you use the other tool to get it done, it's going to get done. But he can stand there and plunge until the cows come home. Nothing's going to happen.
That's right.
So, just like you all heard Amanda say, you're not going to throw a Band-Aid on it.
Yep.
You got to get to the root. You got to get to the cause. You got to deal with that. And then dealing with that, everything else. Because just like you, Amanda, I can eat what I want to. I don't tell folk that. But my body is now in such a state of balance that I don't have to worry about it. I really don't have to worry about it. I can eat what I want. And it feels good because before, if I drove past the McDonald's, I put on 5 pounds. If I just was in the car and just drove past and just saw it there, exaggerating a bit, but that's how I felt. I was afraid.
Yes, I know. I remember you at one of the events.
Yeah, right.
And you were at the table and you're like, no, I'm not going to have any of that. And you're like, well, maybe just a little, one, because you felt guilty for doing it because you knew how your body responded to it. And I was the same way. When I was clinically obese, I was literally afraid of every single food that I put in my mouth, worried it was going to make me gain weight. So now I don't worry about that. It's such a relief.
Yeah, it is. You feel so good. And then too, that probably contributed to my oxidative stress, which is why I'm excited about Protandem too. So.
Oh yes, I can't wait to talk about that one because that one's recommended in Bob Wright's book, Killing Cancer Not People. He talks about Protandem.
Can you imagine? Wow, look at that.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Imagine something that's been out for 16 years. All these patents, all of these studies that have been done at these different universities here in the United States, and peer-reviewed research. It's just so much. Something that can literally decrease oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. It's on the way. I can't wait. It might have been. I got that. So
in 3 months. In 3 months. But some folks that hear it because I had a customer that went. She bought it off of eBay from somebody selling it on eBay, and guess what? A knockoff. Came from China. They got a whole bunch of them on eBay. You buy it. They got what are those poisonous packets in there, oxygen absorber in there. They have the pills look like they just look. There's no comparison. And people are buying that stuff and taking it.
That makes me sick because the same thing happened with these bottles. We were the first ones out with it, and wow, it was awesome. We had so much, results and things. And then of course now they're on Amazon for $50. Well, we tested those for heavy metals, and guess what? They came back with heavy metals.
Yeah, because they made it cheap so they can sell it cheap.
Yep. Yeah, and so it's like, you do. Yep, you do. So yeah, don't buy from Amazon. You got to get to the source where you know it's good.
Yeah.
Well, Tamia, we've been on here for quite some time. I don't know how much longer. Yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock.
I've enjoyed it so much until I lost track of time. My phone is off anyway, so.
Yeah, so we'll update everyone as we go. And those of you that are watching this, just make sure to connect with us because we'll be in Dallas and we can tell you all about the things that we've learned and help you too. And if you want a new opportunity for the new year coming up, this will be the one that we're going to be excited about. Healthy water and healthy gut.
That's right.
Be healthy, be happy.
Love you, lady.
Thank you, Tamia.
You're welcome.